on second, bottom of the seventh. 2 balls, no strikes. Roughing checks the runner on second. Gets the sign from Dickie. Roughing stretches, roughing pitches. Caught the inside corner. Steer right, going at it, baby. No hitter up there. 1 out. Man on second, bottom of the seventh. 2 balls, 1 strike. Roughing checks the runner on second. Gets the sign from Dickie. Roughing stretches, roughing pitches. Low and outside, ball 3. Come on, Red, make him a hitter. No batter up there. In there all the time, Red.
Kate, please, my head is splitting.
I told the boy 109 times. Eugene! Stop banging the wall!
In a minute, Ma. This is for the World Series. 1 out. Man on second, bottom of the seventh. 3 balls, 1 strike. Roughing stretches, roughing pitches. High and outside, ball 4, and JoJo Moore walks. First and second, and Melot lopes up to the plate.
Can't he do that someplace else?
I'll break his arm, that's where he'll go. Eugene, I'm not going to tell you again, you hear me?
It's the last batter, Mom. Melot is up. It's a crucial moment in World Series history.
Your Aunt Blanche has a splitting headache.
I don't want him to stop playing. It's just the bang.
He always does this when I'm studying. I have a big test in history tomorrow.
Just 1 more pitch, Mom. I think I can get him to pop up. I have my stuff today.
Your father will give you plenty of stuff when he gets home, do you hear?
All right, all right.
I want you inside now. Put out the water glasses.
I can do that.
Why, is his arm broken? And no back talk, you hear?
Attention, attention, attention. Ladies, ladies, ladies. And gentlemen, gentlemen, gentlemen. Today's game will be delayed because of my Aunt Blanche's headache. Headache.
Blanche, that's enough sewing today. That's all I need is for you to go blind.
I just have this one edge to finish. Lori, darling, help Aunt finish dinner.
2 more pages. All right, Ma. I have to finish the Macedonian Wars.
Always studying that one. She's going to have some head on her shoulders. Eugene!
I'm coming.
And wash your hands.
They're clean. I'm wearing a glove. I hate my name. Eugene Morris Jerome. It's the 2nd worst name ever given to a male child. The 1st worst is Haskell Fleischman. How am I ever going to play for the Yankees with a name like Eugene Morris Jerome? You have to be a Joe, or a Tony, or a Frankie. If only I was born Italian. All the best Yankees are Italian. My mother makes spaghetti with ketchup. What chance do I have?
I'm almost through, Ma.
That's good. Don't get up too quickly.
You have better color today, sweetheart. Did you get a little sun this morning?
I walked down to the beach.
Very slowly, I hope?
Yes, Ma.
That's good.
She gets all this special treatment because the doctors say she has this kind of flutter in her heart. I got hit with a baseball right in the back of the skull. I saw 2 of everything for a week, and I still had to carry a block of ice home every afternoon. Girls are treated like queens. Maybe that's what I should have been born, an Italian girl.
Eugene!
What?
How many times have I told you not to leave your things lying around the house?
109?
What?
You said to me yesterday. I told you 109 times not to leave your things around the house.
So be fresh to your mother, Jean.
Was I fresh? I swear to God, that's what she said to me yesterday. One day I'm gonna put this all down in a book or a play. I'll be a writer, like Ring Lardner or somebody. That's if things don't work out first with the Yankees, or the Cubs, or the Red Sox, or maybe, possibly the Tigers. If I get down to the St. Louis Browns, then I'll definitely be a writer.
Mom, can I have a glass of lemonade?
It'll spoil your dinner, darling.
A small glass of couldn't hurt her.
All right, in a minute, Angel.
I'll get it. I'm in the kitchen anyway.
Can you believe that? She'd better have a bad heart, or I'm gonna kill her one day. Listen, I hope you don't repeat this to anybody. What I'm telling you are my secret memoirs. It's called The Unbelievable, Fantastic, and Completely Private Thoughts of I, Eugene Morris Jerome, in this, the 15th year of his life, in the year 1937, community of Brighton Beach, borough of Brooklyn, Kings County, City of New York, Empire State of the American Nation, in the
roller skate on my kitchen floor? Do you want me dead? Is that what you want?
I didn't leave it there.
No, then who? Lori? Aunt Blanche? Did you ever see them on skates? Take this upstairs. Come in.
Don't hit my skull, I have a concussion.
What would you tell your father when he came home? I was dead on the kitchen floor.
I'd say don't go in the kitchen, Pa.
Don't come down with dirty hands.
You see why I want to write all this down? In case I grow up all twisted and warped, the world will know why.
Boy, he's young. You should be glad he's healthy and active. Before the doctors found out what Lori had, she was a cigarette.
Never. Girls are different. When you and I were girls, we kept the house spotless. It was Ben and Ezra who drove Mama crazy. I've always been like that. I have to have things clean, just like Mama. You know, the day they packed up and left the house in Russia, she cleaned the place from top to bottom. Said no matter what the Cossacks did to us, when they broke into our house, they would have respect for the Jews.
Who were the Cossacks?
The same filthy bunch as lives across the street.
Across the street? You mean the Murphys?
All of
The Murphys are Russian?
The mother is nice. She's been very sweet to me.
them. Her windows are so filthy, I thought she had black curtains hanging inside.
I've been inside their house. It was very neat. And nobody could be as clean as you, Kate.
And what business did you have in their house?
She invited me in for tea.
To meet that drunken son of hers.
No, just the two of us.
Living here 7 years, she never invited me for tea. It's because she knows your situation. I know that kind. Just remember what Mama used to tell us. Stay on your own side of the street. That's what they have gutters for.
That's what they have gutters for. If my mother knew I was writing all this down, she would stuff me like one of her chickens. I'd better explain what she meant by Aunt Blanche's situation. You see, her husband, Uncle Dave, died 6 years ago from this thing. They never say it, they always whisper it. It was cancer. I think they're afraid that if they say it out loud, God will say, I heard that. You said the dreaded disease, and for that I smite you down with it. There are some things adults just won't discuss. Like my grandfather. He died from diphtheria. Anyway, when Uncle Dave died, he left Aunt Blanche with no money, and she couldn't support herself because she has asthma. So, my big-hearted mother insisted we take her and her kids in to live with us. So they divided our rooms into 2 smaller rooms. And me and my brother Stanley live on this side, and Lori and her sister Nora live on the other. My father thought it would just be temporary, but it's been 3.5 years now. And I think because of Aunt Blanche's situation, my father's developing high blood pressure.
Have some more lemonade, dear.
Thank you, Aunt Kate. I am.
Blanche, it's an alcohol record since 7 o'clock this morning.
I was just stopping.
We'll sew your fingers together.
It's getting dark anyway. I think I need new glasses.
My teacher said you should change them every 2 years.
Would it kill you to put a light on?
Don't need to run up electric bills. I owe you and Jack enough as it is.
If I asked you for anything, you see anybody starving around here? If I go hungry, you'll give me something from your plate.
Kate, I'm gonna pay you and Jack back someday. I don't know when, but I keep my word.
From your lips to the Irish sweepstakes. Go in and taste the soup, see if it needs salt.
Should I put out the water glasses? Or is Eugene going to do it?
Eugene! It's the last time I'm going to tell you! Just do the napkins, darling.
Because of her condition, I have to do twice as much work around here. If only I could make the Yankees, I'd be in St. Petersburg this winter. Her sister Nora's not too bad, though. She's 16. I don't mind her much. At least she's not too bad to look at. To be completely honest, this is the year I started noticing girls that weren't too bad to look at. Nora started developing about 8 months ago. I have the exact date written in my diary.
Lori! And Kate! Hey, incredible news, everybody!
Hi, Nora.
Oh, Eugene, my sweet, adorable, handsome cousin, wait till I tell you what's happened to me. I'm fainting. I'm absolutely fainting.
I felt her chest. When she grabbed me, I felt my first chest.
I can't believe this whole day.
What happened?
Where's Mom? Aunt Kate, I have to tell everybody. Everyone inside for the big news.
What's all the excitement?
Oh, yeah, what is his name? Sit down, Mom, because I don't want you fainting on the floor.
Sit down, Blanche.
Mom, what are you doing, Kate? Okay. Is everybody ready?
Stop dragging it out. The suspense is killing me.
Lori, don't say things like that.
Can I hear what the girl has to say? Go ahead, darling.
Okay. Here goes. I'm going to be in a Broadway show! It's a musical called Abracadabra. This man, Mr. Beckman, he's a producer. He came to our dance class this afternoon and he picked out 3 girls. We had to be at the Hudson Theater on Monday morning at 10 o'clock to audition for the dance director. But on the way out, he took me aside and said the job's as good as mine. I have to call him tomorrow. I may have to go into town to talk to him about it. They start rehearsing a week from Monday, and then it goes to Philadelphia, Wilmington, and Washington, and then it comes to New York the second week of December. There are 9 big musical numbers. And there's going to be a big tank on stage that you can see through, and the big finale takes place with the entire cast underwater. I mean, can you believe it? I'm going to
talking about?
Do I know? Am I her mother?
How can you be in a show? Don't you have to sing and act?
I can sing.
No, you can't.
A little.
No, you
I
can't.
can carry a tune.
No, you can't.
Well, I probably won't have to. They're just looking for dancers.
On Broadway, you have to sing and
How
act.
do you know? You never saw a Broadway
Hey,
show.
did you tell him how old you are?
He didn't ask me.
You didn't ask if you were 16 years
He
old?
just asked me to audition. My God, isn't anyone excited?
I am. It's the most fantastic thing I've ever heard.
Thanks, Eugene. I'm glad somebody's excited.
My God, I'll be sleeping next door to a showgirl.
How can you go to Philadelphia? What about school?
School? Mama, this is a Broadway show. This is what I want to do with my life. Algebra and English isn't going to help me on the stage. You stay out of this.
What, you mean not finish high school, not get a diploma? Do you know how hard it is for a girl to get a good job these days without a high school diploma?
I've got a job, and I'll be making more than 10 girls with diplomas.
You don't have it yet. You still have to audition.
It's as good as mine, Mr. Beckman told me.
And what if you, God forbid, broke a leg or got heavy? How long do you think they'll keep you? Dancing is just for a few years. A high school diploma is forever. I know. I never had one. I know how hard it is to get a decent job. Well, Aunt Kate knows. Tell her, Kate.
It's very hard.
Then why did you send me to dancing school for 3 years? Why do I spend 2 hours a day on a subway, 4 days a week after school, with money that you make going half blind over a broken sewing machine? Why, Mama?
Because it's my pleasure. Because I know how much you love it. Because you asked me.
But I'm asking you for something else, Mama. Let me do something for you now. I could be making almost $60 a week, maybe even more. In 2 years when I get out of high school, I wouldn't make that much with a college diploma.
I can't think now. It's almost dinner time. Uncle Jack will be home soon. We'll discuss it later.
Well, I have to know now, Mama. I have to call Mr. Beckman and let him know if I'm good or not. At least, let me audition. Let me find out first if they think I'm good enough. Please, don't say no until Monday.
It was a tense moment for everybody. I love tense moments, especially when I'm not the one they're all tense about.
God knows we could use some money. We owe Aunt Kate and Uncle Jack enough as it is. Well, I think they have as much say in this as I do. How do you feel about it, Kate?
Me? I never voted for bar in my life. Why should I start with my own family? I have to heat up the potatoes.
Well, then we'll see how Uncle Jack feels about it. We'll let him make the decision.
Why, Mama? I love him, but he's not my father.
Because I need help. Because I don't always know what the right thing to do is. Because I say so, that's why.
Eugene and Jerome of New York cast one vote for yes. What I'm about to tell you next is so secret and private that I've left instructions for my memoirs not to be opened until 30 years after my death. I, Eugene M. Jerome, have committed a mortal sin by lusting after my cousin Nora. I can tell you all this now because I'll be dead when you're reading it. If I had my choice between a tryout with the Yankees and actually seeing her bare breasts for 2.5 seconds, I would have some serious thinking to do.
I need bread.
What?
I don't have enough bread. Go across the street to Greenblatt's and get a fresh rye bread.
Again? I went to the store this morning.
So you'll go again this afternoon.
I'm always going to the store. When I go up, that's all I'll be trained to do, go to the store.
You don't want to go? Never mind. I'll go.
Don't do that to me. Don't make me feel guilty. I'll go.
Get a 1/4 pound of butter.
I bought a 1/4 pound of butter this morning. Why don't you buy half a pound at a time?
Suppose the house burned down this afternoon. Why do I need an extra 1/4 pound of butter?
If my mother taught logic in high school, this would be some weird country.
So, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Leave me alone. Don't just sit there watching me.
It's my room as much as yours. I don't have to leave if I don't want to.
You have to stare at me. Can't I have any privacy?
I'm staring into space. I can't help it if your body interferes. I bet you're worried.
How would you feel if your entire life depended on what your Uncle Jack decided? God, I wish Daddy were still alive.
He would have said no.
reason. He always talk things out. Wish there was somewhere I could call him now and ask him what to do. 1 3-minute call to heaven is all I ask.
Ask Mom. She talks to him every night.
Who told you that?
She did. Every night before she goes to bed. She takes his picture, puts it on her pillow, and talks to him. Then she puts the blanket halfway up the picture and goes to sleep.
She does not.
She does too. Last year when I had the big fever, I slept in bed with the both of them. In the middle of the night, my face was on this picture and I cut my nose.
She never told me that. That's weird.
I don't remember him much anymore. I used to remember him real good, but now he disappears a little bit every day.
Oh God, he was so handsome. Always dressed so dapper, his shoes always shined. I always thought he should have been a movie star, like Gary Cooper. Only very short. Mostly I remember his pockets.
His pockets?
When I was 6 or 7, he always brought me home a little surprise, like a Hershey or a top. He'd tell me to go and get it in his coat pocket, so I'd run to the closet and put my hand in, and it felt as big as a tent. I wanted to crawl in there and go to sleep. And there were all these terrific things in there, like juicy fruit gum or spearmint lifesavers and little bits of cellophane and crumpled pieces of tobacco and movie stubs and nickels and pennies and paper clips and rubber bands. Oh, and his gray suede gloves that he wore in the wintertime.
With the stitched lines down the fingers, I remember.
Then one day I found his coat in Mom's closet, and I put my hand in the pocket, and everything was gone. It was emptied and dry cleaned, and it felt cold. And that's when I knew he was really dead. Oh God, I hate being a boarder. I wish we had our own place to live. Listen, let's make a pact. The first one who makes enough money promises not to spend any on herself, but saves it all to get a house. For you and me and Mom. That means every penny we get from now on we save for the house. We can't buy anything. No lipstick, or magazines, or nail polish, or chewing gum, nothing. Is it a pact?
What about the movies?
Movies too.
Starting when?
Starting today, starting right now.
Can we start Sunday? I want to see The Thin Man.
Who's in it?
William Powell and Murda Lloyd.
Okay, starting Sunday. I'll go with you Saturday.
Sid Luckman from Columbia waits for the snap from center. The snow is coming down in a near blizzard. He gets the pass. He fades back. He passes. Luckman's got his own pass. He's on the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20. Touchdown! Columbia beats the mighty Crimson of Harvard 13-12. Listen to that crowd. Ah, ah, ah.
Eugene, stop that yelling. I got a cake in the oven.
Hey, Eugene.
Hi, Stan. That's my brother Stan. He's okay. You'll like him. What are you doing home for?
Pop home yet?
No. Did you ask about the tickets?
What tickets?
For the Yankee game. You said your boss when you died could get passes. You didn't ask him?
Me and my boss had other things to discuss. I'm in trouble, Eugene. I mean really serious trouble.
This really surprised me, because Stan's the kind of guy who could get himself out of any kind of trouble. What kind of trouble?
I got fired today.
Fired? You mean for good?
You don't get fired temporarily. It's permanent. It's a lifetime firing.
Why? What happened?
It was on account of Andrew, the colored guy who sweeps up. Well, he was in the back cleaning up the stockroom, and he leaned his broom up against the table to throw some junk in the trash. The broom slips and knocks a can of linseed oil over, ruins 3 brand new hats right out of the box, $9 Stetsons. It wasn't his fault. He didn't put the linseed oil there, right?
Right.
So Mr. Stroheim sees the oily hats and he starts to go crazy. He tells Andrew it's going to have to come out of his salary. That's $27. So Andrew starts to cry.
He cried?
42 years old. The man's bawling all over the stockroom. I mean, he doesn't have much furniture upstairs anyways, but he's real sweet, always laughing, telling me jokes. I never understand them, but I laugh anyways, make him feel good, you know?
Yeah?
So anyways, I told Mr. Stroheim I didn't think that was fair. It wasn't Andrew's fault.
You said that to him?
Yeah, sure, why not? So Mr. Stroheim looks at me and he says, well, you want to pay for the hats, big mouth? I I say, no, sir, I do not want to pay for the hats. Well, then mind your own business, big mouth.
Holy mackerel.
Everyone, so Mr. Stroheim, everyone's looking at me now, watch to see what I'm going to do. And then he calmly sends Andrew over to the store to pick up 3 brand new hats. That's usually my job. So guess what he asked me to do?
What?
He tells me to sweep up. He says for this week, I'm the cleaning man.
I can't believe it.
Andrew's eyes are hanging 5 inches out of his sockets. Everybody's watching me now. So I grit my teeth, I pick up the broom, and there's this big pile of dirt right over here on the floor.
Yeah?
I sweep it all over Mrs. Stroheim's shoes. Andrew just finished shining them this morning if you want to talk about ironing.
I'm dying. I'm actually dying.
You can tell everyone in the place about to bust a gut. Mrs. Mulcahy, the bookkeeper, can hardly keep her false teeth in her mouth.
This is the greatest story in the history of the world.
So, Mr. Stroheim grabs me and he pulls me in the back off and starts giving me this whole story about how he was brought up in Germany to respect his superiors. That if he ever did such a thing like you do, they would beat me in their cup until they carried me away dead.
Perfect. You got him down perfect.
And I say, well, yeah? We're not in Germany anymore, old buddy.
You said that to him?
No, to myself. I didn't want to go too far.
I was wondering.
Anyway, he starts giving me this whole story about how he's always thought I was a good boy and that he wants to give me another chance. He says he wants a letter of apology. And that if the letter isn't on his desk by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, I can consider myself fired.
I would have had a heart attack. What did you say?
I said I was not going to pay for the hats if Andrew still had to pay for them. He said that was between him and Andrew. I got my hat and walked out of his office 10 minutes early.
I'm sweating. I swear to God, I'm sweating all over.
I don't know why I did it, but I just got so mad, you know? I mean, if you give in when you're 18 and a half, you'll give in for the rest of your life, don't you think?
I suppose so.
Yeah.
So what's the decision? You gonna write the letter?
No!
Positively?
Positively, except I'll have to discuss it with Pop. I know we need the money. But he told me once, you have to do what you think is right and stand up for your principles in this world.
But what if he says he thinks you're wrong? That you should write the letter?
He won't. He's gonna leave it up to me, I know.
But what if he says write the letter?
That's something we won't know until after dinner, isn't it?
All in all, it was shaping up to be one heck of a dinner. I'll say this, though. I always had this two-way thing about my brother. Either I worshipped the ground he walked on, or I hated him so much I wanted to kill him. I guess you know how I felt about him today.
All day it takes to bring home bread. Bring Aunt Blanche the butter, she's waiting for it.
I was home a half hour ago. I was talking to Stan.
Hey, I got a letter from Rosalind Weiner, remember her? She moved up to Manhattan. They live up on Central Park West.
Why not? Her father's a gangster. Her mother is worse. But I don't get a kiss alone.
Nope. What? I was going to save it up for you, give you a giant one for Christmas.
We don't have Christmas. I'll take it now, thank you. And a hug, too. When do I ever get a hug from you? You must have done something wrong.
You're too smart for me. I robbed a barbershop today.
Is that why you look so tired? You don't get enough sleep running around all night with your 200 girlfriend.
130. All I've got is 130.
I didn't get any work done.
I get it done.
And your boss doesn't say anything to you about being tired.
About being tired? No, he doesn't.
Did you ask him about Thursday?
What?
You were going to ask him about getting paid Thursday so I can pay Greenblatt's on Friday. Saturday's a holiday.
No, I forgot. I'm sorry. I'll ask him tomorrow.
If it's a problem, don't ask him. Greenblatt can wait. Your boss is more important.
Not true, Mom. My boss isn't any more important than Mr. Greenblatt.
Oh God, as if things weren't bad enough, and now this, the ultimate tragedy. Liver and cabbage for dinner. A Jewish medieval torture. My friend, Marty Gregorio, an A student in science, told me cooked cabbage can be smelled farther than sound traveling for 7 minutes. If my memoirs are never finished, you'll know it's because I gagged to death in the middle of dinner. You're all witnesses. I was sitting here, right? But I'll get blamed for that anyway.
I'm all right. Just a minute.
Didn't I tell you to get out of that hot kitchen? I can't breathe in there, and I don't have asthma.
I'm sick about the plate.
Lord, come up your mother.
I'll replace them. Don't worry about the plate, okay?
Plates I can always get. I only have one sister.
What happened?
I'm all right. Don't run, Lord.
Another asthma attack. It's the second one this week. Nora, maybe you should get the doctor.
No, I don't need doctor.
There's no climate for you near the beach. What you need is someplace dry.
Like Arizona, Mama.
Should I get the doctor?
No, doctor. It's better. It's going away.
I can still hear the whistle.
You shut up.
Nora, help Aunt Kate in the kitchen. I broke her good plates.
Never mind, Eugene will do it. Go up and get your mother's medicine. Lori, sit there quiet and watch your mother. You're as quiet as pale as a ghost. Eugene, come in here and help me.
Hello, Mrs. Christie. How are you?
In a minute, Mom. Pop is home. I would now like to introduce my father, a real hard worker. He was born at the age of 42. Hi, Pop. How you doing, Pop?
How am I doing?
Let me carry these, Pop.
They're too heavy. You'll hurt yourself.
I can do it easy. I just have to get a good grip.
I want to sit a few minutes.
Are you okay, Pop?
I'm resting, that's all. Get me a glass of cold water, huh?
I'll be out for the other box in a minute, Pop. I don't know how he does it. King Kong used to live these. You know what's in here? Noisemakers and party favors. Pop sells them to hotels and nightclubs after he gets done with his regular work, which is cutting material for ladies' raincoats.
Did you do your homework today?
Not all of it. Mom sent me to the store 15 times. Amos and Andy is on tonight.
Do your homework, and then we'll discuss Amos and Andy.
Here's your medicine, Mom. Or go get a glass of water.
Boys shouldn't be running.
I'll get it, Nora.
Oh, you sure you don't mind?
No, no trouble at all. 2.5 seconds, that's all I ask.
When are you going to speak to Uncle Jack, Mom?
When I speak to him, that's when I'll speak to him.
Tonight? I have to know tonight.
We'll see. If he's not too tired after dinner, I'll speak to him then.
Jack's home. We'll eat in 10 minutes. Nora, darling, go get Stanley. How's your mother, Lori?
Much better. The whistling stopped.
What's wrong? Eugene said you were holding your chest.
Oh, I wasn't holding my chest.
Gotta carry that case every day. Back and forth to the city. You don't work hard enough, Jack.
You want the case? It's yours. Keep it. I don't need it anymore.
What do you mean?
Delmar's party favors went out of business. They closed him out. The man is bankrupt.
Oh my God.
He never even warned me it was coming.
You told me he lived up on Riverside Drive with the view of the river. A $300 a month apartment he had, a man like that.
Who are the ones you think go bankrupt? You live in a cold water flat on Delancey Street? Bankruptcy is the one thing God spares you.
All right. You can always find the good in something. You don't have to lug that case anymore. You don't have to get up at 5:30 in the morning. We can all eat dinner at least an hour. Still got your job at Jacobson. We won't starve.
I can't make ends meet with what I make at Jacobson's. Not with 7 people to feed.
Quiet. I hear you.
I can't get by without that extra $25 a week. I can't pay rent and insurance and food and clothing for 7 people. Christmas and New Year's alone, I made $150.
Stop it. We'll talk about it tonight.
He paid me for the week, the bastard. 5 salesmen are laid off, and he's going to a Broadway show tonight. I stuffed every hat and noisemaker I could carry in that case and walked out of there. His funeral, I'll put on a pointy hat and blow a horn. Da 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 da. Bastard.
Don't talk like that. Something will come up. You'll go to temple this weekend. You'll pray all day Saturday.
There's men in that temple been praying for 40 years. Do you know how many prayers have to get answered before my turn comes up?
Your turn will come up. God has time for everyone.
Here's your water, Aunt Blanche.
Thank you, John.
Where's Nora?
She went up to love Stanley for dinner.
Hey, Lori. Want to take a walk on the beach tonight?
I have homework. What do you want to walk with me for?
Just you and me and Nora. I just felt like taking a walk.
I think Nora the day with Larry Clorman.
Larry Clerman? She likes Larry Clerman?
I don't know. Ask her yourself.
Larry Clerman's my father's age.
He's 20.
Same thing. Do you think he's good looking?
I don't think anybody's good looking.
Larry Clerman, he doesn't even have a chin. His tie comes up to his teeth.
Eugene! Where's your father's water?
I'm coming! Now I've got Larry Clerman to contend with. Here's your water, Pop. I put ice in it.
Don't drink fast.
Do you have time to look at my sneakers, Pop?
What do you want to look at your sneakers for?
They've got no soles. They're hanging on by a tiny piece of rubber. I have to clench my toes when I run out for a fly ball.
I bought you new sneakers last month.
Last year, Pa, not last month. I can only wear them 2 hours a day because my toes can't grow in them.
This is no time to talk to your father about sneakers. He's got enough on his mind. Turn down the light on the living. Don't worry. We've always made it work out before. You'll have a nice dinner, you'll relax, Tonight, when everyone's asleep, we'll talk things through calmly. I don't like it when you get upset.
I'm feeling better. Come help me in the kitchen.
Do you think she'll ever get married?
Blanche,
She's not unattractive. I see men look at her on the beach. What does she want to waste her life in this house for?
she's raising 2 children.
Why doesn't she ever go out? If she wants to meet people, I know plenty of single men.
Blanche isn't the type to get married.
She was married once, wasn't she? Those are the type that get married.
Dave was different. She's not interested in other men.
About that Murphy fellow across the street. He's plenty interested, believe me.
That drunk, he can't even find his way into the house at night. He slept in the doorway once, in the rain. He was there when I went out to get the milk.
He's got a good paying job. He lives alone with his mother. Now, so he takes a drink on a Saturday night. Maybe what he needs is a good woman.
Not my sister. Let him meet someone lying in the next doorway. I don't want to discuss this anymore.
Come in.
Wait, Busy, I want to talk to you.
That's funny because I wanted to talk to you.
About what?
I need a favor real bad. You're the only one who can help me.
What is it?
Listen. When Pop comes home from work tired, he doesn't usually pay too much attention to me and Eugene. He's different with you. He's always interested in what you have to say.
Really? I hope so.
Yeah, you never knew that?
Not really. What's the favor?
This might sound strange, but at dinner tonight, do you think you could help me steer the conversation in a certain direction?
What direction?
Something about how you admire people who stand up for their principles.
What people?
Any people, it doesn't matter. Principles is the important part. If you could work that in 3 or 4 times, I'd be very grateful.
3 or 4 times?
It'll be easy. I'll mention someone like Abraham Lincoln, and you'll say, now there's a man who stood up
I
for
have
his
my own things to bring
principles.
up at dinner. I don't want to get into a conversation about Abraham Lincoln.
Not his whole life, just his
Why would I
principles.
do such a stupid thing?
Because as of tomorrow, I'm unemployed. Unless someone besides me mentions standing up for your principles.
What happened? Did you get fired?
I will be, unless I write Kaiser Wilhelm a letter of apology. It's really up to my old man. I've decided to do whatever he tells me.
When are you going to ask him?
Tonight after dinner.
Tonight? Does it have to be tonight?
Yeah, that's the deadline. I have to let Mr. Stroheim know in the morning. Why?
Couldn't you ask your father in the morning?
He gets up at 5:30. My mother has to line his shoes up by the door because he can't make decisions at 5:30. Why, Nora? What's wrong?
I don't know what you have to complain about. At least your father's alive and around the house to make decisions. You don't know when you're well off, Stanley. Sometimes you make me sick.
Chapter 7, the infamous dinner. It all started out like a murder mystery at Blenheim Castle. No one said a word, but everyone looked suspicious. It was so quiet, you could hear Laurie's soup going down her esophagus. Everyone had one eye on their plate, the other eye on Pop. Except me. I sat opposite Nora. I kept dropping my napkin a lot so I could bend down and get a good look at those virginal, creamy white legs. She was really deep in thought because she left herself unguarded a few times, and I got to see halfway up her thighs, which led to the golden palace of the Himalayas.
Eugene!
Ow!
Keep your napkin in your lap and stop daydreaming.
Stanley knew what I was doing because he was the one who taught it to me. He was busy with his own problems like everyone else. It was so quiet, you could hear the clock ticking in the kitchen. The tension in the air was so thick, you could cut it with a knife, which is more than I could say for the liver. Ketchup. Mustard. Pickles. I'm through. I'll help with dessert.
Sit there and finish your liver.
I finished. You see liver on my plate?
You're burying it under the mashed potatoes. I know your tricks. Look how Laura ate hers.
I had a major problem. One more bite, and I would have thrown up all over the table. That's a sight Nora would remember forever. A diversion was my only escape from humiliation. So how are things out at Stroheim, Stanley? I felt bad about that, but for the moment, attention had shifted from my liver.
you been working there now?
Where?
At Stroheim's.
Year and a half part-time while I was in high school, years since then.
So what's that?
2.5 years, counting part-time.
And he likes you?
Who?
Mr. Stroheim.
Yeah, he usually likes me. Sometimes I'm not so sure.
You come in on time?
Yeah,
You do your work?
yeah,
You get along with the other people?
yeah.
So why shouldn't he like you? How much are you making there?
$17 a week.
It's time you moved up. Tomorrow you go in, you ask him for a raise. If you don't speak up, people take advantage of you. Listen, tomorrow morning, you go into his office. You're polite, you're respectful, but you're firm. You're telling you think you're worth another $5 a week.
$5?
He'll offer you $1.25. You settle for $2.50. I know how these things work. You're a high school graduate. He's lucky he's got you.
I don't think now is a good time to ask Mr. Stroheim for a raise. I think his wife is sick.
What? You're afraid to ask him? Do you want me to take you by the hand and walk in his office and say, my little boy wants a raise?
I'm not afraid.
Your father wouldn't ask if he didn't think it was the right thing. Believe me, Stanley, now is the time to ask for it.
Mom, I think I have a bone in my throat.
There are no bones in liver.
So, what's new at dancing school, Nora?
Nothing's new. Mind your own business.
I'm just trying to introduce the
I
subject.
don't need your help. Will you try to be quiet, Mother?
Lori, you may be excused if you finished your supper.
What happened to dancing school?
Well, Nora received a very nice compliment from her teacher. She said that Nora has professional potential.
He didn't say potential. Potential is in the future. Mr. Beckman is interested in Nora's immediate presence.
Isn't that something? Mr. Beckman is your teacher?
No, he's one of the most well-known and respected producers on Broadway.
Broadway. Imagine that. That's wonderful. And how are you doing in school otherwise?
I'm doing fine.
She's doing very well.
I wish I was smart as she is.
Isn't that the same Mr. Beckman who's producing the great Broadway extravaganza Abracadabra? I hear if a girl gets hired for the chorus of a show like that, not only is her career practically guaranteed, but the experience she gains is equal to a 4-year college education.
Eugene, that's enough.
Only a 4-year college education is equal to a 4-year college education.
I don't think Abraham Lincoln went to college.
How about you, Lori? You feeling all right?
Yes, Uncle Jack.
You getting plenty of fresh air?
As much as I can hold in my lungs. Nora, did you tell Uncle Jack about the big tank that's filled with water?
Girls, that's enough. Let Uncle Jack eat his dinner. If we have something to discuss, we'll discuss it later.
Oh, well, somebody has something to discuss. If there's a problem, this is the time to bring it up. This is the family hour.
What a great idea for a radio show. The Family Hour. Every Wednesday night, you hear a different family eating dinner and discussing their problems of the week. And you get to hear different recipes. WEAF presents Dinner at Brighton Beach, starring the Jacob Jerome family. Featuring tonight's specialty, liver and cabbage. Brought to you by X-Lax, the mild laxative.
The whole country's gonna listen to a 15-year-old boy gagging on liver?
Nothing to discuss. Nobody has any problems. Otherwise, I want to turn on the news.
Well, as a matter of fact, nothing. Never mind.
I'll help with the dishes.
Sit there and finish that liver.
I can't swallow it. It won't go down. Remember the Line of Eden catastrophe last month? Does anybody want to see a repeat of that disgusting episode?
Why does he always talk like it's a Sherlock Holmes story?
He thinks he's a writer.
And what do you think you are?
Eat half of it.
Which half? They're both terrible.
A quarter of it. 2 bites.
1 bite.
2 bites.
I know you. If I take 1 bite, you'll make me take another. I'll take it to my room. I'll eat it tonight. I need time to chew it.
These are not times to waste food. If you didn't want it, Eugene, you shouldn't have taken it.
I didn't take it. They gave it to me. It comes attached to the plate.
If it's so important to everybody, I'll eat your liver, Eugene.
You will?
Seems to be the only thing this family's worried about. Give me your liver so we can move on with more important things in our lives.
Nora's right. Take the liver away. If nobody likes it, why do you make it?
Because we can't afford a roast beef for 7 people.
I suddenly felt vulgar and cheap.
Stanley, turn on the news.
Lauren, get off your feet. You look tired to me.
Can I talk to you, Pop? It's something really important.
More important than what's going on in Europe?
Not more important, just coming up sooner.
Hitler's already moved into Austria. In a couple of months, the whole world will be in it. What's wrong with this radio?
Somebody's been fooling with it, haven't they, Eugene?
Why Eugene? Pop was listening to the news last night.
You weren't listening to the ball game this
He's
afternoon?
talking about Poland. Damn it. I don't want anybody touching this radio anymore. You understand?
Guess who's gonna get blamed for the war in Europe?
Eugene, bring in the knives and forks.
You really think there'll be war, Pop? America, too?
We're already in it. Well, not us maybe, but friends, relatives. If you're Jewish, you've got a cousin suffering somewhere in the world.
Ida Kaczynski's family got out of Poland last month. The story she tells about what's going on over there, you don't even want to hear.
How many relatives do we have in Europe?
Enough. Cousins, uncles. I got a great aunt. Your father has nephews.
I have a cousin Sholem in Poland. His whole family.
David's relatives in Warsaw. That's where his mother was born.
What if they got out and came to America?
Who?
Our relatives, moms, cousins, and uncles. Would we take them in?
Well, what God gives us to deal with, we deal with.
What are you worried about that now for? Go upstairs and work on your speech.
What speech?
How are you going to ask Mr. Stroheim for a raise tomorrow?
Can I talk to you tonight, Pop, after you've rested and read your paper?
Lou Gehrig got 2 hits today. Larrikin Lou is hitting 302.
Is that your paper? How many times I tell you not to read it till your father's through?
I didn't break it, did I? The print doesn't come off if I just take a quick look.
Hey, don't be fresh to your mother. Upstairs.
Pop,
Everybody.
I'll come down later, okay, Pop?
Come on, Stanley. I gotta talk to you anyway.
You're a pest. Anyone ever tell you that?
Yeah, I got a list upstairs. Wanna add your name to it?
Maybe you should lie down. There's nothing in that paper that's going to make you feel any better.
What would we do, Kate? Where would we put them if they got off the boat and knocked on our door? How would we feed them?
The boat hasn't gotten here yet. I can't deal with boats that haven't landed yet.
Uncle Jack, I know you're tired and you have a lot on your mind. The rest of my life may depend on your decision, and I have to know tonight because I have to call Mr. Beckman and let him know if I can go or not.
Who's Mr. Beckman?
The Broadway producer we talked about at dinner? Abracadabra, remember?
Laurie, upstairs this minute. Nora, not now. Now is not the time.
It's never the time. You won't make a decision, and I don't have anyone else I can talk to. Well, I'll make my own decisions if no one else is interested. I'm 16 and a half years old, and I'll do what I want to do.
What is this all about?
Go on out, Jack. Talk to her.
No, Nora's right. I'll take care of it. It's my decision.
What are you going to tell her? That she can quit school? That she can throw her future away? Is that what you want?
Well, what if I'm wrong? What if she's got talent? What is it I'm supposed to say?
Well, she can't talk to me. It's all the same family, isn't it? I'm her uncle, for God's sakes.
She doesn't need an uncle tonight. She needs a father. Go on. She'll tell you.
I never learned.
Mind if I sit with you?
I wrapped my life up so much in Dave. I never learned how to be their mother.
If you want to talk, we'll talk. And if not, not.
We've got enough mothers around here. This is a family. The world doesn't survive without families. Laurie, do your homework. Blanche, make me some tea. You're the only one here that makes decent tea.
Listen, I know what it's like, Nora, not to be heard.
You?
I grew up in a family with 4 children. My father, before he died, never could remember our names. My oldest brother was the big one. And, of course, I was the little one. And my brother Saul was the rotten one. And Eddie was the skinny one.
Who am I?
The tricky one. What's the problem?
I don't know. It doesn't seem very important now.
I've never known you to cry about something that wasn't important. Listen, I know I'm not your father, and it's not my place to make decisions for you. But I can offer advice. Advice is free. And if it doesn't fit, you can always return it.
Can we take a walk down the block?
Sure. Hey, we'll take a look at the ocean. My father always used to say, throw your problems out to sea, and the answers will wash back up on the shore.
Did they?
Not in Brighton Beach. Orange pills and watermelon pits washed up. That's why it's good to take someone who knows how to give advice.
Will you stop that? I'm trying to concentrate.
I'm glad I don't have your problems.
How'd you like an official American League baseball in your mouth?
I gotta talk to you, Stanley. I mean a real serious, important talk.
Everybody in this house has to have a talk with somebody. Grab your number off your wall and wait your turn.
I had a dream last night. It was about this girl. I can't tell you her name, but she's gorgeous. We were really kissing hard and rubbing up against each other, and I felt this tremendous buildup coming, like at the end of the 39 steps. And then there was this explosion, like a dam broke, and everything rushed and flowed out to sea. It was the greatest feeling I ever had in my life, and when I woke up, I was...
All wet.
Yeah, how'd you know?
It was a wet dream. You had a wet dream. I have them all the time.
You do? You mean there's nothing wrong with you if it happens?
You mean you never had one before?
Yeah, but I slept through it.
Didn't you ever try to do it by yourself?
What do you mean?
Well, didn't you ever diddle with yourself?
No, never!
Baloney, I've heard you. You diddle 3 or 4 times a week.
You're crazy! What do you mean, diddle?
Whack off, masturbate.
Would you be quiet? Laurie might hear you.
It's perfectly natural if it happens, especially at our age.
What, you mean you know guys who do it?
Every guy I know does it, except Haskell Fleischman. He does it for the other guys.
I can't believe I'm having this conversation.
You can't grow up without doing it. Your voice won't change.
Where do you know all this? Is it like a medical book or something?
It's puberty.
It's what?
Puberty. You never heard that word before? You don't read books?
Yeah, The Citadel by A.J. Cronin. He never mentioned puberty.
Even Pop did it.
Pop? Our Pop? You know what, Stanley? I think you're full of shit.
Hey! Don't use that language. Who do you think you are? You're just a kid. Don't ever let me hear you say that again.
I don't get you. You mean it's okay for you to say puberty, but I can't say shit?
Puberty is a scientific word. Shit is for those guys who hang out around the beach.
What do you expect me to say when you tell me that Pop whacks off?
I know when he still does it, because he's married now, but when he was our age, 14, 15, the whole world whacks off.
President Roosevelt, too?
Oh, rich kids are the worst. That's all they do from morning till night is whack off. In college, they sit around drinking beer and whacking off.
Stanley, this is the most useful information you've ever told me. What about girls?
5 times as much as boys.
5 times as much? Is that an actual figure? Where do you know all this from?
You learn it, handed down from generation to generation. It's how our culture spreads.
5 times as much as boys? Some of them don't even say hello to you when they're home all night whacking off?
They're human, just like we are. They have the same needs and desires.
Then why is it so hard to touch their boobs?
Listen, if you were a girl, would you like some guy jumping at you and grabbing your boobs?
If I had boobs, I'd love to touch them, wouldn't you?
I don't have time for this.
How do girls do it?
I can't explain. I need a pencil and paper.
Do you want crayons? Maybe you should do it in color.
Eugene, I have a serious problem in my life. I do not have time to draw girls masturbating for you.
I'll bet Nora doesn't do it.
Oh boy, could I win money from you. You think she's in the bathroom 7 times a day just taking showers?
She does it in the bathroom?
I knew 2 girls who used to do it in English class. I knew a girl who did it on a final exam and she still got a 98 on her paper. Nora, the one you were thinking about last night?
No, it was someone else. One of the beach girls.
It was Nora. I see what's going on. I know why you dropped your napkin 12 times at dinner tonight.
She drives me crazy. I think I'm in love with her.
Yeah? Well, forget it. She's your cousin.
What's wrong with being in love with your cousin?
It's against the laws of nature. If it was your stepsister, it would be dirty, but it would be okay. You can't love your cousin. Let me give you some advice. When you're going through puberty, don't start with anyone in your own house.
Who made up those rules? Franklin Roosevelt married his cousin?
Maybe she was his second or third cousin, but you can't marry your first cousin. You get babies with 9 heads. Need to talk to Papa.
I still would love to see her naked, though. Just once. There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
No, I do it all the time.
You've seen Nora naked?
Yeah, plenty of times. I fix the lock on the door and then I just walk in pretending I don't know anyone's in there.
I don't believe you. What a pig. What does she look like?
All I can tell you is that I was pretty miserable. She was my first cousin.
That was the night that I realized that lust and guilt were very closely related. I gotta go wash up.
Have a good time.
I don't do that.
Sorry, I forgot it was this Tuesday. I'll change my doctor's appointment.
You don't have to change anything. The girls will be with me.
Have I ever missed a year going to the grave? Dave was my favorite in the whole family. You know that.
You realize it'll be 6 years? Sometimes I forget his birthday, but the day he died, I never forget.
There wasn't another one like him.
Laurie asks me questions about him all the time. Was he funny? What's the funniest thing he ever said? She asked me. Couldn't remember. Isn't that awful, Kate?
Sometimes you talk like your life is over. You're still a young woman. You're still beautiful. You never stop squinting so much.
I went with him for 2 years before we got married. What was I waiting for? That's 2 married years I didn't have with him.
Listen, Jack's company is having their annual affair in New York next Wednesday at the Commodore Hotel. You should see how some of these women get dressed up. Jack wants you to come with us. He told me to ask you.
Me? Who do I know in Jack's company?
You'll be with us. You'll meet people. Max Green will be at our table. He's the one whose wife died last year from tuberculosis. He's their #1 salesman. He lives in a hotel on the Grand Concourse. He's a riot. You'll like him. Maybe you'll dance with him. What else are you going to do here every night?
I don't have a dress to do a thing like that.
So you'll make something. Jack will get you some material. He knows everybody in the garment district.
Thank you, Kate. I appreciate it, but I can't go. Maybe next year.
Next year you won't have any eyes altogether. What are you afraid of? Dave's dead. You're not. God wanted the both of you to be lying in the grave next to him.
I've made plans for next Wednesday night.
More important than this, they have this affair once a year.
I'm having dinner with someone.
You're having dinner? With a man? How wonderful. Why didn't you tell me?
With Mr. Murphy.
Who's Mr. Murphy? Oh my God, I don't understand you. You're having dinner with that man? Do you know where he'll take you? To a saloon. To a bar and grill. That's where he'll take you.
We're going to Chardov's, the Hungarian restaurant. You've never even met the man. Why do you just like him so much?
I don't have to meet that kind. I just need to smell his breath when he opens the window. What do you think a man like that is looking for? I grew up with that kind on Avenue A. How many times have Stanley and Jean come home from school black and blue from the beatings they got from those Irish hooligans? What have you got to talk to with a man like that?
Is that why you don't like him? Because he's Irish? When have the Jews and the Irish ever fought a war? Do you know who George Bernard Shaw is?
I don't care who he is.
One of the greatest Irish writers? What would you say if he were taking me to Chardov's next Wednesday?
Is Mr. Murphy a writer? Tell him to bring me some of his books. I'll be happy to read them.
Oh, Kate, when are you going to give up being an older sister?
I've heard stories about him with women. They like their women, you know. That's what you want. It's your business.
I decided to go downstairs and quiet my passion with oatmeal cookies.
We went for a walk on the beach last Thursday. He hardly said a word. He was very quiet, very shy. He told me about where his parents come from in Ireland. Their life there wasn't any easier than Mama's and Papa's was in Russia.
Nobody had it like they had it in Russia.
He has a decent job in a printer's office. He didn't smell of liquor, and he was a perfect gentleman.
No cookies for you. Not till you eat that liver.
You're still saving it? You mean it's going to be in the icebox until I grow up?
No cookies, do you hear me?
I just want a glass of water.
There's water in your bathroom.
There's toothpaste in the glass. It makes me nauseous.
Listen, there's no point in discussing this. I'm going to bed. You do what you want.
Kate, I don't ever want to do anything that's going to hurt you or Jack. I owe you too much. I can't live off you for the rest of my life. Every decent job I've tried to get, they've turned me down because of my eyes. Now, the thought of marrying Frank Murphy hasn't even occurred to me, maybe not even to him. But I don't think one dinner at Chardov's is the end of the world.
Just don't want to see you get hurt. I never mean you harm. I can take anything except when someone in the family is mad at me.
Oh, I could never be mad at you, Kate. That I promise you to my dying day.
All right, have dinner with Frank. Papa ever heard me say those words, he'd stand up from the cemetery and shake a big stick at the house.
I told him to pick me up here. Is that all right?
Here, in my house.
For 2 minutes. I wanted you to meet him. At least see what he's like.
Tell his mother to wash her windows, and I see what he's like.
Can I see Mr. Beckman tomorrow, yes or no?
Did you talk to Uncle Jack?
Talk to Uncle Jack. I want a decision from you, Mother, yes or no.
What did he say?
It doesn't matter what he said. It's your decision or mine. Who's going to make it, Mother?
I said if I were her father, I'd tell her to finish high school. If she's got talent, there'll be plenty of other shows. You know, I never got past the 8th grade. And that's why I spent half my life on the subway and the other half trying to make a few extra dollars to keep this family from being out on the street.
I'm not asking this just for myself, Mama, but for you and for Lori. In a few years, we could have a house of our own instead of being cooped up here like animals. We could pay Uncle Jack back what he's given us all these years. I'm asking for a way out, Mama. Don't shut me in. Don't shut me in for the rest of my life.
You promised you'd do what Uncle Jack said.
He doesn't make decisions. He offers advice. I want a decision, Mother, from you. Please.
You finish high school. You tell Mr. Beckman you're too young. You tell him your mother said no. That's my decision.
I see. Thank you very much, Uncle Jack, for your advice. I'll let you know in the morning what my decision is.
Blanche, let it go. Let us sleep on it. You'll only make it worse.
Things no matter what I do, I only make everything worse.
What could I tell her? What could I say?
You inherit a family, you inherit their problems.
Well, good night.
Put the cookie on the table.
What cookie?
The oatmeal cookie in your pocket. Put it on the table.
You can smell an oatmeal cookie from 10 feet away?
I heard the jar moving in the kitchen. Suddenly everybody's doing what they want in this house. Your father's upset. Aunt Blanche is upset. Put the cookie on the table!
I heard a lot of yelling. What happened?
I don't know, but it's my fault.
What are you going to do? Do you want me to speak to Mom? I can tell I was getting flutters in my heart again.
Don't you ever say that. Don't you ever pretend to be sick to get favors from anyone.
I'm not pretending. They're just not big flutters.
Stop puffing up the pillows. The house could be burning down and you run back in to puff up the pillows.
Let's go to bed. You're tired.
When does it get any easier, Kate? When does our life get any easier?
At night, when you get 7 good hours of sleep. It's the easiest it ever gets.
Close the door!
Oh, sorry, I didn't know anyone was in there!
Can I talk to you now, Pop? It'll only take 5 minutes.
He's tired, Stanley. He's practically asleep.
2 minutes. I'll tell it real fast.
Go on, Kate. Go to bed. The boy's got something he wants to tell me.
Turn out the light when you're done. Don't worry about things. We've always made them work out before.
She saw me on the crapper. Nora saw me on the crapper. I might as well be dead.
Got a problem, Pop.
If you didn't, you wouldn't live in this house.
Must be tough being a father. Everybody comes to you with all their problems. You have to have all the answers. I don't think
Stop trying to win me over. Just tell me the problem.
Okay. I got fired today.
What?
Don't get excited. Don't get crazy. Let me just explain what happened.
What did you do? You come in late? You were fresh to some? Were you fresh to somebody?
I can still get the job back. I just need you to help me make a decision.
Take the job back. I don't care what it is. This is not a time for anybody to be out of work in this family.
When I was 12 years old, you gave me a talk about
All night you
principles.
waited to tell me this news?
This is about principles, Pop.
How long are you going to go without
Will you
telling
at
me?
least hear my principles?
All right. I'll hear your principles. Then you'll hear mine.
Okay. Sit back and let me explain what happened. It was on account of Andrew, the colored guy who sweeps up.
So, Stanley began his sad story. Pop never said a word, he just sat there and listened. Stanley was terrific. It was like that movie, Abe Lincoln in Illinois. Stanley was not only defending his principles, but he was defending democracy in the United States of America. Pop must have been bleary-eyed because not only did he have to deal with Stanley's principles, Nora's career, the loss of his noisemaker business, had to get Aunt Blanche married, and Laurie's fluttering heart, but at any minute there could be a knock at the door with 37 relatives from Poland showing up looking for a place to live. Finally, Stanley finished his story.
So, either I write a letter of apology or I don't bother coming in tomorrow. I know you're tired, and I know it's late, but I didn't want to do anything without asking you first.
Oh, Stanley.
I know, Pop.
You shouldn't have swept the dirt on his shoes.
I know, Pop.
Especially in front of the other people.
I know, Pop.
He's your boss. He pays your salary. His money helps put food on our dining table.
I know, Pop.
And we don't have the money to waste. Now, believe me when I tell you that.
I believe you.
Last year, you were sick 3 days, and he only docked you a day and a half. Do you remember that?
I remember. I see what you're getting at. I'll write the letter.
On the other hand, you did a courageous thing. You stood up for a fellow worker. Nobody else stood up or did it.
I was the only one.
That's something to be proud of. It was what you believed in. That is standing up for your principles.
I knew you'd understand. That's why I didn't want to write the letter.
The question is, can this family afford principles right now?
It would make things harder, I know.
No, not just on you and me, but on your mother, Aunt Blanche, Nora, Laurie,
Eugene.
Eugene. Eugene would have to get a part-time job. Time he should be using studying to get himself somewhere.
He wants to be a writer. He wants to go to college.
I wish I could have sent you. I've always been sick about that, Stanley.
I like working, Pop. Really, I do. Listen, I made up my mind. I'm gonna write the letter.
I'm not saying you should.
I know. It's my decision. I really want to write it.
And how will your principles feel in the morning?
My principles feel better already. You told me you were proud of what I did. I think that's all I needed to hear.
You know, Stanley, I don't think there's much in college they can teach you that you don't already know.
Where do you think I learned it from? Thanks for talking to me, Pop. You going to bed?
Well, no, I think I'll sit here a while. It's the only time of day I have a few minutes to myself.
So, do you have to write the letter?
Yeah.
I knew that's what he'd make you do.
He didn't make me do it. Quiet, will you? I have to concentrate.
What are you gonna say?
I don't know. You want to help me? You've always been good at these things.
You know, people used to get paid for that back in the old days.
I am not going to pay you money.
I don't want money.
What do you want?
Tell me what Nora looked like naked.
How horny can you get?
I don't know, what's the highest score?
All right, after we write the letter.
I don't trust you. I want to get paid first.
You know, you're a real shit.
Don't talk like that in front of me, I'm just a kid.
All right. All right. What do you want to know?
Everything, from the time you open the door.
It all happened so fast.
That's okay, just tell it slow.
All right. So, I heard the shower running. I gave it a few minutes for the water to stop, and I knew she'd be stepping out of the shower. And suddenly I just opened the door. There she was standing there, just a towel on her head, nothing else in the whole world.
Slow. Don't go so fast.
Her breasts were gorgeous, like two Peaches on the vine, just waiting to be plucked. No. Nectarines. Like 2 nectarines, all soft and pink and shining in the morning sun.
Your mother, she looks gorgeous.
I'm waiting for a grand entrance. How's Uncle Jack?
He ate a nice dinner. He's resting. You can go up and see him later. Eugene! Your father's resting. I don't want to hear you ball playing against the house.
I'm not playing, I'm writing.
Well, do it quietly.
She wants me to write quietly. If that was the only sentence I published in my memoirs, it would be a bestseller. Everyone's been in a rotten mood around here lately, because 3 days ago, Pop had a heart attack. It wasn't a major heart attack. It was sort of a warning. He passed out on the subway and a police officer had to bring him home. He was trying to make some extra money driving a cab at nights, and he just plain wore out. The doctor says he should stay in bed for 2 to 3 weeks, but Pop won't listen to him. Mr. Jacobson has a brother-in-law who needs a job, and he's been filling in for Pop temporarily. But Pop's afraid that 3 weeks in bed might turn into permanently.
I need to talk to you.
What's up?
Not now. In our room. Don't tell anybody.
What's the big secret?
You shut up. Just wait till I get upstairs and follow me up.
If it's about Nora, I'm not interested. I forgot to tell you, I hate my cousin Nora. She's been real snotty to everybody lately. She doesn't say hello in the morning, and she eats her dinner up in her room. And she's been seeing this guy, Larry No Chin Clerman, every night. And she's not as pretty as I thought she was.
Eugene, did you bring your father his paper?
I'm coming, my leg hurts. I fell down the stairs at school.
Well, bring it up. He's waiting for it.
If I told her I just lost both my hands in an accident, she'd say, go upstairs and wash your face with your feet. I guess she's just sore because she and Pop can't go to the affair at the Commodore Hotel this year. They had Glenn Gray in his orchestra. I feel bad for her because she doesn't get to go out much. She's also nervous about Frank Murphy coming over to pick up Aunt Blanche. She's angry at the whole world. That's why she's making lima beans for dinner.
Would you like a cashew, Lori?
Oh, thanks. And a Brazil nut, too? And 1 almond?
You must be starved. We're eating dinner late tonight. We'll wait till your mother goes out.
Can I have some nuts too, Mom?
Just one for the company. We're eating in the kitchen. You and Stanley help with the dishes. You're all flushed. You don't have a fever, do you? Let me see your tongue. It's all spotted.
That's the cashew nut.
Don't you get sick on me, too. If you're tired, I want you in bed.
I have a little stomach cramp. Maybe I'm getting my ladies.
Your what?
My ladies. The thing Nora gets when she can't go in the water.
I don't think so. Not at your age. But if your stomach starts to hurt real bad, come and tell me. I made a nice tuna fish salad tonight. Let me know when your mother comes down.
Aunt Kate, does Mama like Mr. Murphy?
I don't know, darling. I don't think she knows him very well yet.
Do you like him?
I never spoke to the man.
Well, you called him a Cossack. Aren't those the kind that don't like Jewish people?
I'm sure Mr. Murphy likes your mother. Otherwise, he wouldn't be taking him out to dinner.
Mom married him. We have to live in that dark house across the street with the creepy woman in the window.
We're not up to that yet. Let's just get through Chardov's restaurant first.
Pop's feeling better. He threw the newspaper out because they didn't bring him the evening edition.
Lock the door.
You look terrible. You were crying. Your eyes are all red.
I'm in trouble, huge. I mean really serious trouble.
When did you take up smoking?
I smoke in the stockroom all the time. Don't let me see you do it. It's a bad habit.
So how come you do it?
I like it.
What brand do you smoke?
Lucky Strikes.
I knew you would. That's the best brand.
Swear to God, when I tell you, you'll never tell another soul.
I take an oath on the life of the entire New York Yankees. What happened?
Lost my salary.
What?
The entire $17. It's gone. I lost it.
Where? In the subway?
In a poker game. I lost it gambling.
In a poker
Will
game?
you shut up? You want to kill Pop right in his bedroom.
You never told me you gambled.
We were just doing it at lunch hour. For pennies. I always won a dime, a quarter. It wasn't just luck. I was really good.
$17.
When Pop got sick, I thought I could make some extra money to help out, so I played in this game over at Florsheim's Shoes. Boy, did they teach me about poker. They cleaned me out in 20 minutes.
What are you going to tell them?
I don't know. If Pop wasn't sick, I would just tell him the truth. Last week he tells me how proud he is of me. He's driving cabs at night and I'm playing poker over at Florsheim's.
Yeah, but suppose you won. Suppose you won $50. You just had bad luck, that's all.
I had no chance against those guys. They were gamblers. They all wore black pointy shoes with clocks on their socks. If Pop dies, I'll hang myself, I'll swear.
Don't talk like that. Pop isn't going to die. He ate 3 lamb chops tonight. Why don't you say you lost the money? You had a hole in your pocket. You can tear a hole in your pocket.
I already used that one.
When?
Last month, when I lost $5. He looked at me and he said, now every morning you check your pockets.
What happened to the $5? Did you gamble that too?
No, I gave it to a girl. You know, pro.
A pro what? A prostitute? You went to one of those places? Holy shit!
Don't make me tell you about that word again.
Is that what it costs? $5?
No, $2.50. I went with this guy I know. Still owes me.
And you never told me? What was she like? Was she pretty? How old was she?
Don't start in with me, Eugene.
Did she get completely naked or what?
Every time I get in trouble, I have to tell you what a naked girl looks like. Do me a favor, Eugene. Go in the bathroom, whack off, and grow up by yourself.
Don't get sore. If you were me, you'd ask the same question.
Well, I never had an older brother to teach me these things like you do. I had to do it all on my own. You don't know how lucky you are to be the younger one. You're still looking up girls' dresses on the staircase at school.
I worked plenty hard at school.
Yeah? Well, let me see your report card. This is the first of the month. I know you've got it. I want to see your report card.
I don't have to show you my report card. You're not my father.
Yes, I am. As long as Pop is sick, I'm the only one who's working, aren't I?
Really? Well, where's your salary for this week, Pop?
I hate you sometimes. I always help you. You never help me without wanting something for it in return. I hate your disgusting guts.
Not as much as I hate yours. You snore at night, you pick your toenails, you smell up the bathroom. When I go in there, I have to puke.
Give me your report card. Give it to me, goddammit, or I'll beat your face in.
You what? Here's my lousy report card, you fuck.
Poor ace and a B. That's really good, Eugene. Eugene, I want you to go to college. I want you to be somebody important someday. I'm not. I'm no damn good. Listen, buddy, I'm sorry about those things I said to you.
Me too. I'm sorry too.
Hi, Uncle Jack. Are you feeling better?
A little, darling. Your mother's not down yet?
No.
I want to see her before she goes out.
Oh my God, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? You're walking down the stairs?
Oh, I'm all right. I was tired lying in that bed. I want to see Blanche.
How are you going to get back up the stairs? You think I'm going to carry you? The doctor said you're not even supposed to go to the bathroom.
You trust doctors? My grandmother lived to be 87. She never saw one in her life.
She didn't have high blood pressure. She never fainted on the subway.
She used to faint 3 or 4 times a week. It runs in our family. We're fainters. Lori, darling, go get your Uncle Jack a glass of ice-cold water, please.
Now?
Yes, darling. Now. That child is pampered too much. You should let her do more work around the house. Don't get well lying on couches all day.
No, you get healthy driving a cab at night after cutting raincoats for 9 hours. Are you trying to kill yourself, Jack? Do you want to leave me to take care of this family by myself? Is that what you want?
You figure I'll get better faster if you make me feel guilty? I was born with enough guilt, Katie. If I need more, I'll ask you.
I'm sorry. You know me. I'm not happy unless I can worry. My family were warriors. Warriors generally marry fainters.
I'm not gonna leave you, I promise. If I didn't leave you for another woman, I'm certainly not gonna drop dead just to leave you.
What other woman? That bookkeeper? Helene?
Again with Helene. You're never gonna forget that I danced with her 2 years in a row at the Commodore Hotel.
Don't tell me she isn't attracted to you. I noticed that right off.
Oh, what does a woman like that want with a cutter? She's interested in the men up front, the salesmen. She's a widow. She's looking to get married.
You're an attractive man, Jack. Women like you.
Me? Attractive? You must really think I'm dying, don't you?
You don't know women like I do. Just promise me one thing. Anything ever happen between you and that Helene? Let me go to my grave without hearing it.
I see. Now that you're worried about Helene, you've decided you're gonna die first.
I had to chop the ice. I'm all out of breath.
Oh, it's good for you, darling. It's exercise.
I'm going out. I won't be home for dinner. I'll be home late. I have my key. Good night.
All right, don't you want to see how your mother looks?
I'm sure she looks beautiful. She doesn't need me to tell her.
What about Mr. Murphy? I know she wants him to meet you and Laurie. He'll be here any minute.
I have someone waiting for me. I can meet Mr. Murphy some other time.
Well, I think it would be very nice if you waited, Nora. I think your mother would be very hurt if you didn't wait to say goodbye.
I'm sure that's very good advice, Uncle Jack. I know just how my mother feels. I'm not so sure she knows how I feel.
Jack, what do I do?
Leave it alone. This is between Nora. This is between the two of them, Nora and Blanche. They'll have to work it out.
Where does she go every night? Who is she going out with?
With Larry Clurman, he borrows his father's car and takes her to the cemetery.
What cemetery?
Where Daddy is buried. She goes to see Daddy.
Jack, what'll I tell her? I don't want to spoil this evening for her.
Jack, what are you doing out of bed?
Well, we have company coming. Where else should I be?
I looked in your room. I got scared to death.
Ah, you don't look it. You look beautiful.
Oh, Blanche. Oh, my God, Blanche, it's gorgeous. Like a movie star. Oh, Laura, who's that movie star I like so much?
Irene Dunn.
Like Irene Dunn.
I think she looks more like Rosalind Russell. Maybe Carol Lombard.
I think she looks like Blanche. Blanche is prettier than all of them.
So much trouble with the makeup. I couldn't see my eyes to put on the mascara, so I had to put my glasses on, and then I couldn't get the mascara on under the glasses.
Where are your glasses? Do you have your glasses?
In my purse. I thought I'd put them on in the restaurant when I'm looking at the menu.
Make sure you do. I don't want you coming home telling me you don't know what he looks like.
Oh, it's so good to see you up, Jack. Then you feeling better?
Oh, it was nothing. I just needed a little rest, that's all. Besides, I want to meet this Murphy fella. You know, a stranger comes in, he likes to meet another man. It makes him feel more comfortable.
Thank you, Jack. That's very thoughtful of you.
Here, Blanche, wear this. Don't say no to me. Just put them on, Blanche, please.
Oh, Kate, your pearls. Your good pearls.
What are they going to do? Sit in my drawer all year? Pearls are like people. They like to go out and be seen once in a while.
You were going to wear them to the affair tonight. Oh, I'm so wrapped up in myself. I forgot all about yours missing the affair of the year.
I can afford to miss it. I don't see Jack there the whole night anyway.
Well, let's see how they look.
All right. Tell me I don't have a beautiful sister.
Now I feel good. Now I feel I got my money's worth.
Definitely Carol Lombard.
Lori, go up and get Nora. I want to show them to Nora.
She's not here. She left.
What do you mean she's not here? She left without saying goodbye?
She had to meet someone. She wanted to wait for you.
She could have come into my room. She knew it was important to me.
Well, she'll see you tonight when you get home. You'll look just as good at 12 o'clock.
Well, did she say anything? What did she say?
You're going to go out. You're going to have a good time. We'll talk about it later.
She's making me pay for it, isn't she? She knows she can get to me so easily. This is what I get for making decisions.
I feel like ice cream for dessert. Lori, do you feel like ice cream for dessert?
Butter pecan.
Butter pecan for you, maple walnut for me. Go up and tell Eugene I want him to go to the store.
I'll go with him.
Don't run, darling.
Let her run. She'll tell you if she's tired. Let's stop worrying about each other so much, huh?
Eugene, your father wants us to go to the store.
Tell him I'm sick. My stomach hurts.
You don't want
how quickly you recover from misery when someone offers you ice cream.
She's only 16, Blanche. At that age, they're still wrapped up in themselves.
How am I supposed to become a writer if I don't know how to suffer? Actually, I'd give up being a writer if I could see a naked girl while I was eating ice cream.
6:30. He'll be here any minute. Get your mind off Nora, Blanche. I wore my curls out tonight for nothing.
Eugene, I want you to go to Hanson's. Now get a half pint of butter pecan, a half pint of maple walnut, a half pint of chocolate for yourself. Kate, what do you want?
I'm in no mood for ice cream.
Get a vanilla, she'll eat it. And whatever Stanley likes.
I need money.
I just paid the doctor $15 this week. Go up to Stanley, he got paid today. Ask him for his salary.
What?
Yeah, here's $1. Hurry back so Lori can meet Mr. Murphy, but don't run.
You know what I worry about at night? She'll run off. I'll wake up one morning and she'll be gone to Philadelphia or Boston or God knows where.
Look how the woman's going out on a date. This what you're going to talk about? We'll start drinking in 5 minutes.
Do you think so? What'll I do if he gets drunk?
You'll come home. Do you have money? Do you have coffee?
No, I didn't take anything.
Wait here. I'll get $5 from Stanley. Now I have something else to worry about.
Well, I feel like a cup of hot tea.
Oh, no, sit there, I'll make it.
We'll both make it. Keep me company. We can hear the bell in the kitchen.
Stanley, are you in here? Open a window. Don't get any air up here. I need $5 for Aunt Blanche. Take out. Did you get paid? Stanley?
Yeah, yes, I got paid today.
Take out your money for the week. Let me have the envelope.
I don't have it.
You don't have the envelope?
I don't have the money.
What do you mean you don't have the money?
I mean, I don't have the money. It's gone.
Gone? Gone where?
It's just gone. I'm sorry. I can't get it back. Just please don't ask any more questions.
What do you mean don't ask any questions? I want to know what happened to $17, Stanley.
You'll tell Pop. If I tell you, you'll tell Pop.
Why shouldn't I tell your father? Why, Stanley? I want to know what happened to that money.
I gambled it! I lost to play poker. All right? Are you happy? Are you satisfied now?
I'm not going to deal with this now. I've got to get your Aunt Blanche out of the house first. I got your father's health to worry about. You're going to sit in this room and you are going to make up a story. You were robbed. Somebody stole the money. I don't care who. I don't care where. That is what you are going to tell your father. Because if you tell him the truth, you will kill that man as sure as I am standing here. Tonight after he goes to bed, you'll meet me in the kitchen. We'll deal with this alone.
I'm sorry.
Left my purse in here, not my glasses. I was afraid to pour the tea. Kate, what is it? What's wrong?
Nothing. I'm just all nervous tonight.
Oh, you're worried about Jack. He should never have come down the stairs.
He knows he's not supposed to get out of bed. What did we need a doctor for? He doesn't listen to him.
I should never have invited Mr. Murphy over. That's the only reason he came down.
It's not just Mr. Murphy. It's Stanley. It's Eugene. It's everybody.
I'm sorry about Nora. Jack told me what she said when she left.
Get your purse, Blanche. He'll be here any minute.
Did Nora say anything to hurt you, Kate? I know she's been very difficult lately.
Why is it always Nora? Why is it always your problems? You think you're the only one in this world who has troubles? We all have troubles. We all get our equal share.
Sorry. Forgive me, Kate. I'm sorry.
Maybe you're stronger than I am. I don't know. You survived Dave's death. I don't know if I can handle it if something happened to Jack.
He's going to be all right, Kate. Nothing's going to happen. He's still a young man. He's strong.
When Dave died, I cried for his loss. I was so angry at God for taking such a young man. I never realized until now what you must have gone through. How'd you get through it, Blanche?
I had you, I had Jack. Most of all, you live for your children. Your children keep you going.
My children.
I wake up every morning for Nora and for Laurie.
Nora hurts you so much you can still say that.
Why? Don't you think we hurt our parents? You don't remember how much Mama cried when Celia left home? Sure, it hurts. But when you love someone, you forgive them.
Some things you forgive. Some things you never forgive.
Is the ice cream here yet?
No. Didn't you go with Eugene?
No, I was across the street in the creepy house. It's just as creepy inside.
You were at Mr. Murphy's house just now? Why?
She called me from the window, the old lady. I think it's his mother. She told me she had a letter for you. I had to go inside to get it.
What'd she say to you?
She offered me a cookie, but it was all green. I said I wasn't hungry.
Dear Mrs. Morton, I send regrets for my son Frank. I tried to reach you earlier, then realized you had no phone. Frank will be unable to keep his dinner engagement with you for this evening. He is in the hospital as the result of an automobile accident, and though his injuries are not serious, the consequences are. As a devoted mother, I would end this letter here and forward my apologies. Despite all of my son's faults, honesty and sincerity have never been his failings. He wanted me to tell you the truth, that while driving a friend's motor car, he was intoxicated, and that was the cause of the aforementioned accident. The truth would come out soon enough, but he has too much respect and fondness for you to have you hear it from some other source. I hope you will not think I am just a doting mother when I tell you my son has a great many attributes, a great many. As soon as Frank can get out of his difficulties here, we have decided to move to upstate New York, where there is a clinic that can help Frank, and where we have relatives with whom we can stay. Frank sends, along with his regrets, his regards for a warm, intelligent, friendly, and most delightful neighbor across the way. Yours most respectfully, Mrs. Matthew Murphy.
What is it?
He isn't coming. He's in the hospital.
It was a sad letter, all right, but it sure was well written. Maybe I should have been born in Ireland.
I knew it. I said it from the beginning, didn't I?
Why is he in the hospital?
He was in a car accident. Oh, that poor woman.
Does that mean you're not going out to dinner?
I warned you from the start about those people.
Oh, stop calling them those people. They're not those people. She's a mother like you and me.
Yeah, and what is he? Tell me what he is.
He's somebody that needs help. He's someone who's in trouble. For God's sake, Kate, you don't even know the man.
I know the man. I know what they're all like.
Who are you to talk? Are we so much better? Are we something so special? We're all poor around here. The least we could be is charitable.
What have I got I can afford to give away? Am I the one who got you dressed up for nothing? Am I the one who got your hopes up? Am I the one they're going to throw in jail somewhere?
They're going to put him in
Don't talk
jail?
to me about charity. Anybody else but not me.
I never said you weren't charitable.
All I ever did was try to help you. All I ever did was try to help you.
I know that, Kate. No one cares for their family more than you do. But at least you can be sympathetic to someone else in trouble.
Who should I look out for? Who's out there watching over me? I've done enough in my life for people. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't. Say what's on your mind, Kate. What people?
You, Celia, Papa when he was sick, everybody. Don't you ask me what people. How many beatings from Mama did I get for something that you did? How many dresses did I go without so that you could look like somebody when you went out? I was the workhorse. You were the pretty one. Don't you ever talk to me like that, Mike. You have no right to talk to me like that.
This is all about Jack, isn't it? You're blaming me for what happened.
So why do you think the man is sick today? Why did a policeman have to carry him home at 2 o'clock in the morning? So Nora can have dancing lessons. So Laurie can go to the doctor every 3 weeks. Go on, worry about your friend across the street, and not about the ones that have to be dragged home to keep a roof over your head.
What is this? What's going on
You
here?
never tell me
I
you
never
felt
had that time.
way.
I was too busy taking care of everyone.
Blanche, what is it? What happened?
It took all these years. It took something like that letter for you to finally get your feelings
I
out.
didn't need a letter. I just needed you to ask me.
Laurie, please go upstairs. This conversation is not for you.
The ice cream is ready.
Jean, put the ice cream in the icebox. I need to talk to your mother.
I never spoke to the woman. They lived in that house for 3 years. I never exchanged one word with her.
What are you walking around for? You're going to be out of bed. At least sit in a chair.
If I could take Nora and Lori and pack them out of this house tonight, I would do it. But I can't. I have no place to take them.
Blanche, what are you talking about? Don't say such things.
If I could leave the girls here with you for a few more weeks, I would appreciate it. Till I can find a place of my own. Then I'll send for them.
You're not sending for anybody, and you're not leaving anywhere. I don't want to hear this kind of talk.
Stay out of this, Jack. Let her do what she wants.
I know a woman in Manhattan Beach. I can stay with her for a couple of days. Then I'll find a job. I will do anything anyone asks me to do, but I will never be a burden to anyone again.
Blanche, stop this. Stop it right now. What the hell is going on here, for God's sakes? Two sisters having a fight they should have had 25 years ago. Well, you want to get it out, Blanche? Get it out. Tell her what it's like to live in a house that isn't yours. To have to depend on somebody else to put food on your plate every night. I know what it's like. I lived that way till I was 21 years old. Well, go on, Kate. Tell her what it's like to be the older daughter. To suddenly have to work and shoulder all the responsibility. And not be the one who gets the affection and the hugs when you were the only one there. You think I don't hear it with Stanley and Eugene? With Nora and Laurie? You think I don't hear the fights that go on in those rooms night after night? Well, go on, Kate. Scream at her. Yell at her. Call her names, Blanche. Tell her to go to hell for the first time in your life. And when both of you have got it out of your systems, give each other a hug and go have dinner. My lousy ice cream is melting, for God's sakes.
No matter what Kate ever says to me, I will never stop loving her. But I have got to get out of here. If I don't leave now, I will lose whatever self-respect I have left. You know, for people like us, sometimes the only thing we really own is our dignity. When I grow old, I would like to have as much as Mrs. Matthew Murphy across the street.
What did it, Kate? Something terrible happened to you tonight for you to behave like this. No, it wasn't Blanche. It was something else.
Tell the kids to come down in 5 minutes. We're eating in the kitchen tonight.
Get Stanley and Laurie. Dinner is in 5 minutes.
It was the first time in my life I didn't get blamed for what just happened. I felt real sorry for everybody, but as long as I wasn't to blame, I didn't feel all that bad about things. That's when I realized I had a selfish streak in me. I sure hope I grow out of it. Aunt Blanche is leaving.
For where?
To stay with some woman in Manhattan Beach. She and Mom just had a big fight.
What do they fight about?
I don't know. I think Mom sort of blames Aunt Blanche for Pop having to work so hard.
God. Did they mention me? That how I lost my salary?
You told her? Why did you tell her? I thought of 12 terrific lies for you.
How much money do you have?
Me? I don't have any money.
The hell you don't. You got money in your cigar box. How much do you have?
I got $1.12. It's my life savings.
Let me have it. I'll pay it back. Don't worry.
What are you putting on all those things for?
In case I have to stay out tonight. I'm leaving, Eugene. I don't know where for, but I'll write to you when I get there.
You're leaving home?
When I'm gone, you tell Aunt Blanche about my salary. Tell her please not to leave because it was all my fault, not hers. Will you do that for me?
I have 8 cents worth of stamps if you want that too.
Thanks. What's this?
It's the medal you won for the 100-yard dash 2 years ago.
From the Police Athletic League. I remember this. I didn't know you still had it.
You gave it to me. You can have it back if you like.
It's not worth anything.
It is to me.
Sure. You can keep it.
Where will you stay?
I don't know. I've been thinking about joining the army, though. Pop says there'll be a war on soon. I could be a sergeant or something by the time it starts.
If it lasts long enough, maybe I could join too. We could get in the same outfit, the Fighting 69. It was mostly Irish, but there were a couple Jewish guys in the movie.
You don't go into the army unless they come for you. You go to college. Promise me you'll go to college.
I'll probably have to stay home and get a job if you leave. We'll need the money.
I'll send my paycheck home every month. Sergeant in the army makes real good dough. I better get going.
What do you have to leave for?
Don't start crying, they'll hear you.
They'll get over it. I was mad at you and I got over it.
Because of me, the entire family's breaking up. Do you want Nora to end up like one of those cheap boardwalk girls?
I don't care. I'm not in love with Nora anymore.
Well, you should care. She's your cousin. Please, don't turn out to be like me.
I don't see what's so bad about you.
Take care of yourself, Eugene. If you ever write a story about me, call me Hank. I always liked the name Hank.
I guess there comes a moment in everyone's life when you say that very moment was the end of my childhood. When Stanley closed that door, I knew that moment had come to me. I was scared. I was lonely. And I hated my mother and father for making him so unhappy. Even if they were right, I still hated them. I even hated Stanley a little for leaving me to grow up by myself.
Eugene, Lori, dinner! I'm not waiting all night!
And I hated her for leaving Stanley's name out when she called us for dinner. I don't think parents realize how cruel they can be sometimes. At dinner, I tried to tell them about Stanley, but I just couldn't get the words out. I left the table without even eating my ice cream. If it was suffering I was after, I was beginning to learn about it.
It's 10 o'clock. Where is Stanley so late?
Never mind, Stanley. You should have been in bed an hour ago.
Why won't you tell me what happened between you and that boy?
I'm tired, Jack. I've had enough to deal with for one day.
Well, I want him to go to temple with me on Saturday. They stop going for 3 or 4 weeks, they forget their religion altogether.
The house became quieter than I'd ever heard it before. Aunt Blanche was in her room packing, Mom and Pop were in their bedroom, and I had to talk to somebody or else I'd go crazy. I didn't have much of a choice. Lori, it's Eugene. Can I come in?
What do you want? I'm reading.
I just want to talk.
I didn't say yes, did I?
Well, I'm already in, so it's too late. What are you reading?
The Citadel by A.J. Cronin.
I read it. It's terrific. I hear your mother's leaving in the morning.
We're going to as soon as she finds a job.
Can't believe it. I'm going to be the only one left here.
You mean you and Stanley?
Stanley's gone. He's not coming back. I think he's going to join the army.
You mean he ran away?
Only kids run away. When you're Stanley's age, you just leave.
He didn't say goodbye.
My parents don't even know. I'm going to tell them now.
I wonder if we'll have to go to a different school.
You'll have to make all new friends.
I don't care. I don't have any friends here anyway.
Because you're always in the house. You never go out.
I can't because of my condition.
You don't look sick to me. Do you feel sick?
No, but my mother tells me I am.
I don't trust parents anymore.
Why would she lie to me?
To keep you around. Once they find out Stanley's gone, they're going to handcuff me to my bed.
I wouldn't leave my mother anyway. Even if I get older, even if I get married, I'll never leave my mother.
Yeah, Mr. Murphy across the street never left his mother, and he ended up going to jail.
None of this would have happened if my father was alive.
How did you feel when he died?
I cried a lot because I saw my mother crying.
I would hate it if my father died, especially with Stanley gone. We'd probably have to move out of this house.
Well, then you and your mother can come and live with us.
So if we all end up living together, what's the point of breaking up now?
I don't know. I have to finish reading.
You don't get too far talking to Lori. Sometimes I think the flutter in her heart is actually in her brain. I went into their room and broke the news about Stanley, the monumental news that their eldest son had run off. probably to get killed in France fighting for his country. My mother said, go to bed, he'll be home when it gets cold out. I couldn't believe it, their own son. It was then that I suspected that Stanley and I were adopted. They finally went to bed, and I waited out on the front steps until it got cold, but Stanley never showed up.
I didn't go. Mr. Murphy was in an accident.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is he all right?
He has his problems, like the rest of us. I was very hurt that you left tonight without coming in to see me.
I was late. Someone was waiting for me.
So was I. You knew it was important to me.
I'm not feeling very well.
You deliberately left the house without saying goodbye. You've never done that before.
We talk about this in the morning.
I won't be here in the morning.
Tomorrow night then.
I'm leaving, Nora. I'm moving out in the morning.
What are you talking about?
And Kate and I had a fight. We said some terrible things to each other, things that have been bottled up inside since we were children. I have a friend in Manhattan Beach I can stay with till I can find a place of my own. Then I'll send for you and Lori.
I can't believe it. You mean it's all right for you to leave us, but it wasn't all right for me to leave you?
I was never concerned about you leaving me. It was your future I was thinking of.
It was my future. Why couldn't I have anything to say about it?
Maybe I was wrong. I don't know. I never made the decisions for the family. Aunt Kate was right about one thing. Everyone always took care of me. My mother, my sisters, your father, even you and Lori. I've been a very dependent person all my life.
Maybe that's all I'm asking, to be independent.
You earn your independence. You don't take it at the expense of others. Would that job even have been offered to you if someone in this house hadn't paid for all those dancing lessons and kept a roof over your head and clothes on your back? Now, if anyone's going to pay Uncle Jack back, it'll be me doing God knows what, I don't know. But I'm sure of one thing. I will steal before I let my daughter show that man 1 ounce of ingratitude or disrespect.
So I have to give up the one chance I may never get again. Is that it? I have to pay for what you couldn't do with your own life.
What right do you have to judge me like that?
Judge you? I can't even talk to you. I don't even exist to you. I have tried so hard to get close to you, but there was never any room. Whatever you had to give went to Daddy, and when he died, whatever was left went to...
What? Finish what you were going to say.
I have been jealous my whole life because Lori was lucky enough to be born sick. I could never turn on a light in my room at night or read in bed because Lori always needed her precious sleep. I could never have a friend over on the weekends because Lori was always resting. I used to pray that I'd get some terrible disease or get hit by a car and have a leg all twisted and crippled, and then once, maybe just once, I'd get to crawl into bed with you on a cold, rainy night and talk to you and hold you till I fell asleep in your arms. Just once.
My God, Nora, is that what you think of me?
Is it any worse than what you think of me?
I'm not going to let you hurt me, Nora. I'm not going to let you tell me that I don't love you or that I haven't tried to give you as much as I give Lori. God knows I'm not perfect. Enough angry people in this house have told me so already tonight, but I am not going to be a doormat for all the frustrations and hurt that you or Aunt Kate or anybody else wants to lay at my feet. I did not create this universe. I do not decide who lives and who dies and who's rich and who's poor, who feels loved and who feels deprived. You feel cheated because Laurie gets more than you? Well, I feel cheated that I had a husband who died at 36. If you keep on feeling that way, you're going to end up just like me, with something much worse than loneliness or unhappiness, and that's self-pity. Believe me, there is no leg that is twisted or bent that is more crippling than a human being who thrives on his own misfortune. I am sorry, Nora, that you feel unloved. And I will do everything I can to change that, except apologize for it. I am tired of apologizing. After a while, it becomes your life's work. And it doesn't bring any money into the house. It's taken your pain and Aunt Kate's anger to get me to start living again. Well, then God will give me the strength to make it up to you. But I will not go back to being that frightened, helpless woman that I created. I've already buried somebody that I love. Now it's time to bury somebody that I hate.
I didn't ask you to hate yourself. I just asked you to love me.
Nora, I do. Oh, God, how can I make that clear to you?
I feel so terrible.
Why?
Because I think I hurt you. And I still want that job with Mr. Beckman.
I know you do.
But I can't have it, can I?
How can I answer that without making you feel like I'm still depriving you?
I don't know. Maybe you just did.
Oh, I hope so, Nora. I pray to God that it's so.
I heard voices downstairs. Didn't know who it was.
I'm sorry we woke you up. Go to bed. We'll talk again in the morning.
All right. Night, Aunt Kate.
She okay?
Yeah.
She's not angry anymore?
No, Kate. No one's angry anymore. I explained everything to Nora. She and Laurie will help you with all the housework while I'm gone. Laurie's strong enough to do her share. I've kept her being a baby long enough.
They've never been any trouble to me, those girls. Never.
Try to take them on weekends when I can. It's late and we could both use a good night's sleep.
Blanche, don't go. I feel badly enough about what I said. Don't make me feel any worse.
Everything you said tonight was true, Kate. Wish to God you'd said it years ago.
What would I do without you? Who do I have to talk to all day? What friends do I have in this neighborhood? Even the Murphys across the street are leaving.
There's never been any trouble between us till tonight, Kate. And as God is in his heaven, there'll never be another angry word between us again. It's the girls I'm thinking of now. We need to be together, the three of us. It's what they want as much as I do.
Not saying you shouldn't have it. But you're not going to find a job overnight, and apartments are expensive. So why you looking? Why do you got to stay with strangers in Manhattan Beach?
Louise isn't a stranger. She's a good friend.
To me, good friends are strangers. Sisters are sisters.
I'm afraid of becoming too comfortable here. I don't get out now. When will I ever do it?
Go when you want. The door is open. Get the job. When you find the apartment, I'll help you move. I can help you look. I know how to bargain with these landlords.
Oh, you wouldn't mind doing that?
They see a woman alone, they'll take advantage. I'll see what they want for the Murphy place. Can't be expensive, she never cleaned it.
How independent can I ever be living right across the street from you?
Far enough away where you can close your own door. Close enough where I won't feel so lonely.
If I lived on the moon, Kate, you would be close to me. Oh.
I'll go tell Jack. He wouldn't go to sleep till I promised to bring him some good news.
Suddenly feel so hungry.
Of course, you haven't had any supper. Come on, I'll fix you some scrambled eggs.
I'll do it myself. I'm an independent woman now.
Yeah, with your eyes, you'll never get the eggs in the pan.
So, Aunt Blanche decided to stay while she was looking for a job. Nora went back to school the next day. She gave me a big smile and her legs looked as creamy white as ever. Lori was asked to take out the trash, but she quickly got a flutter in her heart, so I had to do it. Things were back to normal.
Eugene, go back to Greenblatt's. I need flour.
How much? A teaspoonful? Stanley didn't come home that night, and even though she didn't say anything, I knew my mom was plenty worried. She told Pop how Stanley lost the money playing poker, and judging by the sounds coming from their bedroom, I figured Stanley should forget about the army and try for the Foreign Legion. And then, the next night at around dinner time, he came home. I was never so excited to see anyone in my life.
Hi. Where's Mom and Pop?
Mom's in the kitchen cooking and Pop's upstairs with his prayer book. They figured if God didn't bring you home, maybe your potato pancakes would. So, what happened? Did you join up?
Almost. Passed the physical, 1, 2, 3.
I knew you would.
They were really giving me the whole sales pitch, too. I mean, cigarettes, donuts, they really wanted me.
I'll bet.
But then just as I was about to sign my name, I just stopped cold. Put down my pen and said, I'm sorry, maybe some other time, and walked out.
How come?
Couldn't do it to Pop. He needs me right now more than the Army does. And I know Mom didn't mean it when she said that she would never forgive me for losing the money, but I figured if I walked out on the family now, maybe she never would.
Gee, I thought you'd be halfway to training camps by now. But I'm real glad you're home, Stan.
Eugene, I need a pint of sweet cream and some more sugar.
Stanley's home.
Hello, Mom.
Get a 2-pound bag. I want to bake a chocolate cake.
A 2-pound bag from Greenblatt's. I'll need identification.
So you staying for supper?
I'm staying as long as you'll let me stay.
Why wouldn't I let you stay? This is your home. Your father's been very worried. I think you owe him some kind of an explanation.
I was just about to do that. Hi, Pop. How you feeling? Listen, I'm sorry about not coming home last night. I know it was wrong. I just didn't know how to tell you about the money. I know it doesn't help to say I'll never do it again, because I won't, I swear. Never. I have $3. Last night I went to Dominic's bowling alley and set pins until midnight. And I can make another 6 on the weekend, so that makes 9. I'll get the $17 back, Pop. I'm not afraid of hard work. That's the one thing you taught me, is hard work and principles. And that's the code I'm going to live by for the rest of my life. So, if you have anything else you'd like to say to me, I'd be very happy to listen.
Did you read the paper tonight, Stanley?
No, Pop.
There's going to be a war. A terrible war, Stanley. The biggest war this world has ever seen. We're still not over the last one yet, and already they're starting another one.
We don't talk about it too much in the store on account of Mr. Stroheim being German and all.
My brother Michael was killed in the last war. I've told you that.
You showed me his picture in uniform.
He was 19 years old. The day he left, he didn't look a day older than Eugene.
He was killed the second week he was overseas.
I know.
They didn't take me because I was 16 years old. Both parents were dead. I lived with my Aunt Rose and Uncle Maury. They had 2 sons, both in the Navy. Both of them wounded and both of them decorated.
Uncle Leon and Uncle Paul, right?
My brother would have been 40 years old this month. He was a handsome boy, good athlete, good dancer, good everything. I idolized him. Like Eugene idolizes you.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, yes, he does, believe me. I see him outside, talking to his friends. My brother this, my brother that. Brothers can talk to each other the way fathers and sons never do. I never knew a thing about girls until my brother taught me. Isn't it like that with you and Eugene?
Yeah, I tell him a few things.
That's good. I'm glad you two are so close. I missed all that when Michael went away. That's why I'm glad that you didn't do anything too foolish last night. I was afraid maybe you'd run away. I hear you talking to Eugene sometimes about the Army. That day will come soon enough, I'm afraid.
I did think about it. It was on my mind.
Don't you know, Stanley? There's nothing you could ever do that would be so terrible I couldn't forgive you. I know why you gambled, and I know how terrible you feel. It was foolish, but you know that already. I've gambled away money in my day. I know what it's like.
You did?
You're so surprised? You think your father's a perfect human being? Someday I'll tell you some other things I've done that weren't so perfect. Not even your mother knows. If you grow up thinking I was perfect, you'll hate yourself for every mistake you ever make. Don't be so hard on yourself. That's what you got a mother and father to do.
You were never hard on me. You were always fair.
Well, I tried to be. You're a good son, Stanley. You don't even realize that. There are men in our cutting room who haven't spoken to their sons in 5, 6 years. Boys who have no respect for anyone, including themselves. Who haven't done a day's work in their life or brought their parents a single day's pleasure. Thank God I can never say that about you, Stanley.
I gambled away $17 and you're telling me how terrific I am.
No, wait a minute here. Don't get the wrong idea. If you'd have been home last night when your mother told me, I'd have thrown you and your clothes out the window. Tonight I'm calm. Tonight I've read the newspaper. Tonight I'm afraid for all of us.
I understand.
All right, tonight after dinner, you apologize to your mother, you give her the $3.
I will, Pop.
And you apologize to your Aunt Blanche, too, because she was worried about you.
I will.
Thank your brother as well. He came into my room this afternoon to tell me how badly you felt. He was almost in tears himself. Oh, the way he pleaded your case, I thought I had Clarence Darrow in the room.
Eugene's a terrific kid.
Yeah. All right. Go wash up and get ready for dinner. Huh? Hey, and tonight, you and I, we're going to go out in the backyard. I'm going to teach you how to play poker.
Terrific.
Eugene back yet?
No, Mom.
You look tired. Did you get any sleep?
I got enough. Slept at a friend's house. Can I talk to you tonight after dinner?
Where am I going? To a nightclub?
I'll wash up and be right down.
Stanley, you didn't join anything, did you?
No, Mom.
You're young yet. Stanley's growing up fast enough.
Yes, Mom.
It's all right. Everything's all right.
You said it wasn't. Told you you'd be home. Lori, call your sister. Time to set the table.
I just broke the world record to green lights. Next year I'm entering the grocery store Olympics. Here's some mail from Pop.
Got my sweet cream.
Never spilled a drop. Perfect run. Where's Stanley?
He's upstairs, getting cleaned up. Oh my God. I've got jury duty next week.
You back in the family?
Yeah, everything's great.
Terrific. You want to take a walk on the boardwalk tonight? See what's doing?
Can't tonight, I'm busy.
Doing what?
I got a poker game tonight.
A poker game? Are you serious?
I do.
I don't believe you.
Swear to God, I got a poker game tonight.
You're crazy, Stanley. You're genuinely crazy. If you lose, I'm not sticking up for you this time.
Hey, if you don't tell anybody, I'll give you a present.
What kind of present?
You can tell?
No. What's my present?
There you go. Open it slowly. Slower. Close your eyes. Open them.
Oh my God, she's naked. You can see everything. Who is she? Where'd you get this from?
She's French. That's how all the women are in Paris.
I can't believe I'm looking at this. You mean some girl actually posed for this? She just laid there and let some guy take a picture of her?
Nora, Maury, come down for dinner.
It belongs to my friend who owes me $2.50. I can keep it as long as he can keep the money.
Let him keep it for a while.
That's my appreciation for being a good buddy.
Anytime you need a favor, just let me know.
All right. Come on, put that away someplace safe. It's time for dinner.
In a minute. I'll be down in a minute.
Kate! Kate! Where's Kate? Kate!
Stop running. You're always running.
It's a letter from London. My cousin's children got out. They got out of Poland. They're free.
Oh, thank God.
Wonderful.
His wife, his mother, all 4 children. They're sailing for New York tomorrow. They'll be here in a week.
In a week?
Do they speak any English?
Oh my God.
I don't think so. A few words, maybe. They had to sell everything. They took only what they could carry.
Where will they stay?
Well, I'll have to discuss it with the family. Maybe some with Uncle Leon, Uncle Paul. And...
With us. We can put some beds in the dining room. It's easier to eat in the kitchen anyway.
The little ones can stay with Gloria, and Nora can sleep with me. Can't you, dear?
Of course, Mama.
Well, don't worry about money, Pop. I'm going to hit Mr. Strohan for that raise.
They got out. That's what's important. They got out.
Eugene, we're waiting for you.
I'll be down in a minute. I just have to write something down. October the 2nd, 6:25 p.m. A momentous moment in the life of I, Eugene Morris Jerome. I have seen the Golden Palace of the Himalayas.